Okay, I want to make a quick video on the Miller CST 250s. I haven't really visited that lately. I think I actually made a crappy video. It wasn't that great, but as you can see, this is a 1 or 3-phase DC CC machine, and that's 230 VAC is how the one phase is, which I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to go into detail about the rest, but mainly right now is wiring. And it's wired for 3-phase right now with a, I forget which one it is. I'll have to look back at the video or look at the machine plug that's going to be removed. And I was debating which ways to go about. And I see there's these adapters on Amazon and eBay where you could use the NEMA 14. Let's see which one is here. Yeah, here, the NEMA 1430R, and have that be the receptacle with a ground wire that you just plug into a grounded outlet. So say just a 120 VAC grounded outlet, or if there's another around, that's ground. And then the other side of the adapter is a plug that would be for, say, what I have available, the easiest at least, you know, would be either from one of the generators, the L1030Rs, or potentially, I guess, also, actually the inspirational adapters were for like a older, not the newest code, dryer outlet. I think they're typically what they are. It's like the older style dryer outlet, which is the 1030R, and you can see what the wiring diagram is. And there's really not an equipment ground, it's just the system ground. So for those designs, and the main concern was to have separate equipment ground and not the neutral or system ground, because those neutrals are bonded to ground per code. The sub panel, I think it's different, but I'm not going to go into that. Kind of a tangent is more for the wiring, and I wanted to study this a little more, and I haven't gotten around to it, but I wonder, this is the output from the, well, here, I'll just do like this. This is the output from the transformer. And this is, you see, the positive, the negative, and it's an interesting design, and I don't know what's going on with the DC, if the waveform's like a modified, or just a square wave, or a modified sine wave, or some kind of other wave. I wonder what the waveform is, and we need to test that with a high current clamp, and see what those, especially with a, what do you call it, current clamp, for with a oscilloscope, so you could have one channel measuring the current and like a differential probe, or basically an isolated probe, so you can measure voltage and also at the same time in another channel the current, and see what those waveforms look like. It looks like, and it is, there's two separate windings coming off, and like they come back together. I was kind of wondering, like at first is one that's just a sense winding, and they connect back in parallel, so the negative and the positive have those two windings reconnecting before they're output to the cables for the stick or the TIG, and those are in parallel, and one's full bridge rectified, the other looks full bridge rectified-ish, I think. And this is where I gotta sit there and really think about this a little more. But it's interesting to see the logic behind, and this is just off-season for me that I don't, this isn't second nature to me. This is like a year of hiatus looking at schematics and diagrams and then really tracing what's going on. Like, you know, it's kind of interesting where one, it looks like at first the current's being smooth basically, and then being rectified. The other, looks like it's being rectified, then it's being smooth, and there's the sense coil right there, and there's a couple, that's giving a feedback somewhere back here to the control board, the inverter control, and yeah, what's going on with that, process control, the operator interface. So yeah, there's a lot more going on there that I just can't, there's another sense, but I guess the main point was, I don't want to go overboard. The easiest mod for this is just to connect for gas line, so you don't have to do a valve on your TIG's Steiner stick, have valve control. It would be nice to have pre and post flow gas control, at least post flow gas control, and the hardware in the case definitely has the holes present to be able to add a gas solenoid, and it would just be a matter of tapping into one of these sense lines. Seems, at least to me, if it doesn't change the values too much, or adding another potentially clamp on, winding 2 cents, and then having like a time delay control, so you could basically just manually set that. Post flow control would be the easiest. Maybe that's all you need actually. Post flow controlled, or want, and just like a potentiometer or digital, rotary controller encoder to control that. But for wiring, what's going on there? Okay, so for wiring this, that adapter I was mentioning, kind of forget about the schematics we were looking at. Back to the wiring, just the single phase from 3-phase. Pretty straightforward. Basically that red number 4 is the red wire, red input connector. That basically just, wire nut it up or tape it, and then wrap that so you don't use that wire. The black and the white, the 3 they're showing us here, are those 240 L1 and L2. So, and then the ground. So it was interesting seeing when I saw those adapters. I'm like, oh wow, thinking for like where I'd want to use this, wiring up, say that, let's just say a generator, or just for another maybe instance would be wherever it'd be used, what to wire in, and you'd go with code, of course. But what if you don't have code? I was thinking kind of other options, and it was like, oh, interesting. So if you had, like, for the L1030R generator, your what are you going to do for a ground? You probably just drive a copper pipe in the ground. So you'd take that ground wire, and then you would, connect that ground to that. Or like if you have this 1030R set up instead of the system ground, using the neutral wire, run another ground wire to the actual ground. Or, like I was saying with those adapters, you just plug that ground wire. I've never seen that before, so it's just, I wanted to comment. You'd plug that ground wire into another outlet that has a ground. So that's it. So technically, like, you could just take a dryer wire, a dryer plug, and with this, like, you take the system neutral, and same goes for the L30R. If you had the plug, you would take that system ground wire, that neutral, and you would actually tape that kind of like you do the 3rd phase L3, the red wire, so it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, you could put a wire nut on it, I guess, and then electrical tape around that. And then you would just take the wire coming out, the ground wire, and you would run that, like in the extension ground wire, into with a generator, the ground, an actual earth ground bar, or if inside or access to a grounded outlet, that was an actual equipment, earth ground. So I wanted to comment, yeah, so it makes a little more options where you wouldn't have to come in to a place, for those that have these, and, have to, go through all the permitting, code inspection and approval, and really the main thing is the expense. So the expense of that, and then the expense of new wire, new outlets, when it's just like, no kidding. So you could just use like, you could get away with, it looks like just a receptacle basically that you have. And if you don't have that equipment ground, earth grounded outlet, you can pretty much just purchase a, or maybe you already have the plug for one of these L1030Rs or the 1030Rs, and then you just minimally, purchase, or maybe you have ground wire, and then you just run that ground wire. Basically, you make a junction box coming with the wire coming out of the welder, and then you wire in your plug and wire. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I figured I'd comment. Just kind of creatively thinking, and as I better understand for the year hiatus wiring more simply, this is a lot easier than jumping into the schematic and being like, hey, there must be a way where I could control the waveforms and make this Miller CST 250 more advanced, or at least have AC options where I could have tap the AC output and maybe be able to weld aluminum with this also, and bypass the DC yet still having the sense winding somehow if needed. Useful. I don't know, for AC it probably, I don't know. I'm sure there's a way. Is this a crazy overboard or not? I don't know. But I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. And this is kind of the first. I haven't been using this, what is this? I forgot. The Canon HD Vixia. I haven't been using this in a while, so I charge the battery up, and yeah. So I was actually going to make a battery pack adapter out of bad battery, so I'd have a larger 18650 cell battery, and I almost wonder it'd be kind of neat to make an adapter that uses DeWalt 20 volts, but this is just a 7.4 volt battery, so I'll probably just use two 18650 cells that are higher current and larger. But that segues to the next video. I got a little update on the another project. So I'm going to say bye for now. Be safe, stay healthy, learn something new, save what you can, and Christ be with you.